G'day everyone, Luke here with another positional sparring video with some of our students, this time starting in Kesa Gatame or scarf hold position, which we don't see that much in today's Jiu Jitsu. So I want you to watch this video and then give us a comment down below and let us know what you think of this position. Is it applicable to today's Jiu Jitsu? Yes or no, and why? Alright, we're going to talk you through. We have Garrett here in the blue gi on top, and we have Kevin in the black gi at the moment underneath being controlled. So Kev's trying to work on his escapes, Garrett is trying to work on his control holds. I think for this drill we were focusing more on controlling and less on submitting as well. So really just trying to hold the person down while the other person is trying to escape. Now, with these positions here, so now we've got a slight variation, so this might have been Kev's mistake holding the position. We will sure see if Garrett does it as well, but we have a variation here called a Kazure Kesa Gatame, which is a broken scarf hold where we hold underneath the armpit instead of around the head. Let's see when Garrett holds. So he's got the same thing here, so we must have been drilling both of those positions. Now, what's really important when you're in these scarf hold variations, when you're sitting on your side there, one is if you can get the underhook. However, if you've got Kesa Gatame, then you won't have the underhook. But even if you have it, the inside arm, the one that you're holding in front of your chest and stomach, that is actually the arm that we want to focus on. Okay, a lot of people when they're learning this position, they focus on trying to hold the head in particular of their opponent, thinking that if I've got his head, I've got his body, he won't be able to escape. When in reality, what we actually want to do is we want to keep that arm that's on our stomach up nice and high, because if they can get that elbow to the mat, that's going to be trouble for us. Now you can see Kev is on the bottom here, framing across the neck of Garrett. He's got 4 fingers inside the collar, trying to push Garrett over, but gives up on it. Goes into a turtle position. Garrett is in on that front turtle, sprawling, front headlock type of position here. Looks like he's working an arm in guillotine. Very nice little variation there of a sumigaeshi, and comes up on top. Ends in side control. Very nice. So lost the submission, but used it to get back the position after he almost lost it, and now he's back into that Kesa Gatame. And you can see he's holding with his left arm. Garrett's holding his own left thigh there. This is a nice little trick you can use to keep your leg nice and close, because again, if you let that leg get too far away, your opponent could potentially get their elbow to the mat. And if that happens, it opens up some of those back takes and some of those other escapes. Kev with a nice escape there, rolling Garrett over the top. So you'll see the person on bottom often trying to lock the hands around the bottom of the ribs of the person on top. And what we want to do there is use that grip to actually put some rib pressure on, and then that way we can use it to help with our bridging. Now Garrett here used it to set up a back take, very nicely done there. Faked the escape by bridging. When Kev posted, freed up the arm, took the back. Now we have Kevin on bottom, nice bridge. So that's the time when they react and they don't let you bridge them forward, that's when you typically want to try and bridge them back the other way. Kev tries to get to his knees, Garrett transitions across to the other side, Kev comes up on a head outside low single, changing position, so they're resetting here. So really just focusing on controlling, holding the person down and trying not to let them take the back, which Garrett does there. But again, if they can't get that inside arm free, then they're not going to be able to take the back. Okay, Kev's locking the hands around the waist, trying to get that rib pressure. Let's see if he tries and pulls the person on top back across to his right over the top of his torso. So Garrett on top, you can see he's got the leg in nice and tight under the shoulder, holding on to the head, and then he's got the other arm trying to control so that they can't come out the back door and take the back. Kev's trying to use his hips. Every time you use your hips like that, the person on top who's holding, if you do it well enough, is going to have to let go of something so they can post and stay on top. So when you bridge the hips, whether it's towards or away, your opponent's typically going to have to let go to readjust or keep their balance, and that's when we want to use our escaping option. So using that first bridge as a setup, kind of like a jab in boxing to then land a right hand. Okay, we're not necessarily trying to knock some out with the jab, we're using it to set up alternative options. And that's what we often find with this rib squeeze. We use that to try and put some pressure, try and bridge, get our opponent to loosen up their grips, and then that will give us the escape that we actually want. Good example there. So you saw Kev fake one way, come back. And now we're back into that Kazure Kazigatame, broken scarf hold now. So now we don't have the back take option. So if you're the person on the bottom, Kazure Kazigatame is a little bit harder to escape because you don't have the back attacks, because you don't have the underhook. Because the person who's on top pinning has the underhook, it takes away your ability to attack the back unless you can get the underhook as part of your escaping technique. So now we see person on bottom framing on the neck again. He's trying to lift the head up, trying to change the posture of the person who's holding the pin. And then from there we might be able to use our leg, we might be able to cut an angle. There's a whole host of things that we can do once we can take that pressure up. Kev's got to be careful of that right arm of his there. That could potentially get turned into something. So he's just got to keep that nice and tight. Again, Garrett is here looking more for control and submissions in this drill. He's doing a really good job of keeping Kev flat on his back until now. Kev does that nice bridge, turns onto his side. Garrett trying to cross face there so he can get him back onto his back, and Kev recognized that, tries to fight the cross face, stay on his side. Now he shoots half guard, gets the underhook. Nicely done, changing position. So back to Kazigatame here. Garrett getting that rib squeeze, trying to walk his hips in underneath so he can use that to bridge and roll. Perfect example of an escape right there. Now again, Kev on bottom. He's trying to reach around for a moment there and control the top bicep with his right arm. Good bridge, but that was his moment again. You could see he lifted Garrett off with that nice strong bridge. As Garrett posted his right hand on the mat, it actually gave Kevin a split second where his left arm was free. That would have been the time to then hip escape, tuck the elbow in and try and go belly down so he could come up onto a wrestling exchange, maybe get into a turtle position. But he missed it. He was a little bit slow on changing his attack there, and now he's kind of stuck flat on his back, again underneath the weight of Garrett. So watching this, what do you think? Do you think this position is too risky in Jiu Jitsu? Is the risk of back exposure for the person on top too great compared to the benefit you get from this control hold in terms of transitions and submission attempts? Make sure you let us know in the comments down below. We're back now in Kazure Kazigatame. So again, the back attack threat, not really there anymore from the person on bottom because of the underhook that the top player has. Very nice control, but a nice bridge up and in from Garrett. Goes to attack the back. Kev actually turned the wrong way there. Garrett with a nice little sweep up into a leg drag. Beautifully done.